Hey guys, I'm ProfitzTV bringing you another TradeSkillMaster version 4 video teaching you the basics of this add-on. You guessed it, so you can improve fundamentally, ultimately making your share of gold in World of Warcraft. In this video, we're going to be covering the import and export section of TradeSkillMaster version 4. Let's get started. Opening the main TradeSkillMaster version 4 UI, you will see core operations across the top. You can get to the import and export setting by left-clicking on the option in the top menu. Importing and exporting fundamentally allows you to share profile information, which would include your group structure, your items, your operations, and it allows you to share that with other folks that might be doing similar activities for you like you are on the auction house. You can also import operations and group structures from others who might provide those publicly. There are several well-known resources out there that include large amounts of group structures, items, certain formulas in the operations, completely a full package if you're interested. So let's go over the basic fundamentals of importing. Importing and exporting, of course, all happens with certain groups. The first part is to create a group. Now, if you are importing specific custom-made items in group structures that you've created, you can assign those to certain groups, but there's also the capability, based upon the person who exported and is providing you the import details, that they've already have group structures created for you. So you don't need to create a group of where it has that group will be carried and the structure will be carried with the import. As an example, these are some of the details of what looks like for import strings. As mentioned in the tool, it's comma delimited or comma separated. As some examples, I have a couple examples here, and then one of the well-known gold makers in the community, which has an extensive import structure completely available for you and available on our paste bin, is Shara. So we'll be doing an example of importing, as you can see, her massive amount of time and effort that she put into this to import her structure, including all of her pricing and all of her knowledge that she has to make the transmog aspect very easy for you. So this is actually what a formula looks like. And then from here, we will take these and do some actual importing into the environment. So first things first, let's create a group, and we're going to call this group Shields. You want to copy and paste the string wherever you receive it from, whether it's an individual again, or from Wowhead or Reddit or wherever you're gathering the details from. You want to make sure that you have the ability to pull that information and copy it into your clipboard. Go on over to the import structure and then let's create a group. I'm going to call this group a test group, which is right here. In that test group, when you click on it, based upon the groups that you have here, I'm going to click on test. In this box, I want to import. So I'm going to left click on the box, see the flashing cursor, and I'm going to Control V and I'm going to paste exactly how you receive the import string. The options at the bottom are very important. Advanced options, move already grouped items. By default, this is turned on. This means if you have this item already in a prior group, it's going to move the item out of that group and associate it with the current group structure that you're importing in based on your selection. By default, that's on. It will move your items out of existing groups into the group that you're currently importing in. Include operations. This is very important, especially when we import other people's information, that if they include operations, by default, this is on. That will all become set up for you. Ignore duplicate operations. This is pretty good because if you already have an operation called that, it's going to ignore it. You don't have to worry about any issues or errors. And then here's a confirmation skip. By default, that's off. I would recommend keeping it off. So you pasted this in here. You want to click import. It's going to bring you to the next section where it's basically going to ask you before you confirm, is this what you want to do? You were placed in the root test group. This new group will be created. Here is all the actual items that you're going to be importing in. Gives you the details at the top, 117 items, 0 operations, because this is just a clear item import. Click confirm. And now within the test group, we now have the items that we just imported, which were shields. Very simple. Import, copy and paste. These are all set by default. You don't have to change anything here. Click the import button and click confirm after you're sure where you want to go, where the items you want to have imported into. Export is the same functionality. If you want to include or attach any type of operations you might have, you're going to select the actual group again. Here's where you can actually do the exporting in. Selected groups, selected operations for all of these. If you don't want certain ones, you can remove them. Click next, and here's the entire structure of my weapons, including any operations that I might have associated. This is what you would share with the folks that you want to, if you want to share your profile information with them. Every symbol in here is important, including these caret symbols. You want to make sure you're copying the entire set of details here and providing that to them. Likewise, they would take this string, go into their import, and they would import appropriately. Importing and exporting, very simple, very straightforward, and it would give you errors if something's not properly set up. So going back to our information here, let's take Sherry's profile as an example, which is probably one of the most popular profiles that are out there. And again, you want to copy the entire structure. So I'm going to scroll all the way down until I get to the bottom. I copied this from our paste bin, just as an example. All the way to the last symbol. You want to make sure all the symbols are here. I'm going to copy that. 72,869 characters. She's done a lot of work for everyone. We appreciate her. So here I want to go to, again, going back to the group. I'm going to create a group structure. I want to call this transmog. Hit enter. This will make the group available into the import export section. I want to make sure that I'm highlighting that. I'm going to, and watch what happens here with the, if the import is large, you can expect it to take some time. So we have a flashing cursor. I'm going to paste that information in. Notice the flashing cursor is gone. It's actually doing information behind the scenes. Give it time, guys. It's not locked up. Give it time, and then you'll see the information that we just pasted into there made available, like such. Before, in prior versions, this could take up to 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, depending on how much information you're restoring and importing into the structure. Keeping the default the same, I'm going to click import. Import, again, might take a little bit of time as it actually pulls in all this information. It might be sporadic here based on that stuff not showing because it's a large amount of information. We're about to import 8,398 items in 7 operations into these subgroup tiers. Click confirm. And then again, give it time. Within a few moments, you'll see it actually bring you back to the import export, and you'll actually see the group structure there. Here's the entire group structure that it imported. Now, because it included the operations, we can go into these groups, going back to our operations page, groups, into the actual subgroup, operations, and then you can see transmog operation is now available that she provided for you through the import process, which has these pre-set up with her pre-formulas staged there automatically. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you very much again for Shara for all that she does in the environment and providing her profile very extensively through her paste bin. And thank you guys for watching this video. Have a great day. Happy gaming and happy earning.